friends, welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of Gemma Darling Daily. I'm your host Danielle, also known as Gemma Darling on Instagram and Gemma Darling on Ravelry. You can find me on Instagram at Gemma Darlings with an S, and on Ravelry I'm just Gemma Darling. This is a knitting-centric podcast. Sometimes we go into other crafts. Basically, it's a podcast about watching me buy things for crafts that I never complete. So if that's your thing, if you're like a supply hoarder, you're gonna love it here. I podcast 2 weeks ago. Usually it's a really long time between podcasts, so I have a lot to talk about. I do not have a lot to talk about today. I'm trying to podcast more frequently, because as you guys know, I am 5 months pregnant, and in July we're expecting another daughter. And so I don't know how my energy level is going to hold up. I wish I ate well when I'm pregnant. I'm trying to this time, but I just sometimes really want a hot dog. So it does zap your energy though. So, I'm doing my best here, okay? I just want to thank everyone that watched and commented on my last podcast. All your well wishes are so appreciated. You really have no idea. I didn't get to respond to everyone because, as I said, I am just zapped. At the end of the day, when Franny goes to sleep, as early as a 3-year-old goes to sleep, I sometimes fall asleep right next to her. So I'm doing my best, but if I have put the heart on your comment, then I read it and I loved it and I appreciate it. So thank you so much. Keep the comments coming because I love the interaction with this community. It's really what I'm here for. So I have a whole list of show notes that I want to go through, and I don't think it's going to take super long. So let's see if I can finish this podcast with your tea still hot. Let's try that. I have to be honest though, usually I do my hair and makeup for podcasting, right? Which is probably why I don't podcast very often, because I don't do my hair and makeup very often. I did my makeup a couple days ago, and I did my hair a couple days ago, and it's not holding up so well. So it went up in like a crazy bun, and we're just going to say okay to that right now because I can't win them all. But I did put on extra makeup to compensate, and I have a lot of blush on right now, and we're just going to forget about that. So, dressing fail today. Don't mess with the mama. First, I want to shout out my husband's cousin, Lisa. She is not a knitter. She's not. She has been trying to get me to make her something out of Clinton Hill cashmere, which I have no problem with. So, she and I are going to pick a pattern. I'm going to make something for her. But, in the meantime, she sent me a gift completely out of the blue, and she sent me this beautiful DK from the Grist Mill Farm alpacas. And so this came with them. It's in Glenmore, Pennsylvania. And it's the Grist Mill Farm alpacas. Alpaca fiber is warmer than wool, finer than cashmere, durable, hypoallergenic, and comfortable next to the skin. So she sent me 2 skeins, and unbeknownst to her, it's a Brio Duo. God, seriously. I don't know the exact colorways because they actually came in plastic, each one, with a label like on top with staples. You know how they do that? And I took them out right away so I could feel them. This dark charcoal has bits of blue in it, which is actually really cool. I don't know if you can see that. And then this heather gray is just incredible. So I don't think I have my lights in the right position today, but anyway, I love them, and I'm going to try and figure out what to make. And part of me wishes that I hadn't already made the Glacier Park cowl by Caitlin Hunter, because I would love to make it in DK. It calls for fingering, but I think I'm going to have to make it in DK one day because I just want it to be fluffier. I love the one I made in fingering weight, but I just loved knitting it. And my friend Shannon, who's label Woodsy and Wild, she makes project bags. She actually teaches color work classes with that pattern. So if you guys are looking to segue into color work and you're just not confident, you know, enough to pick up a sweater and do it, try the Glacier Park Cowl by Caitlin Hunter. But back to this. Lisa, thank you so very much. It was so fun. I got yarn in the mail that I didn't even order. And it's good yarn. I mean, it isn't like, you know how like most people that aren't knitters are like, you spend what on a skein? Well, let me tell you something. My cousin's not cheap, and this was not cheap yarn at all. And I'm really, really thankful that I have people in my life who may not understand my passion for knitting, but support it. And I think that's really, really important for us all to support one another, even if we don't understand why we're doing something. So again, Grist Mill Farm Alpacas, and we're gonna take the kids there as soon as it gets warmer out to go see all the alpacas. It's gristmillfarmalpacas.com. So if you guys are interested in checking them out, if you live anywhere in Pennsylvania or anywhere within driving distance, check it out. Okay, next. I didn't really get any yarn other than that in the past 2 weeks because, I mean, guys, I'm looking at towers of yarn. I'm actually going to do a de-stash. I should have all the listings up by Wednesday. It will be Thursday at noon, and then I will mail stuff out Friday and Saturday. So, but guys, did you guys get your Pom Pom Mag? How much fun is it to get Pom Pom Mag in the mail? I mean, I loved getting it in the mail, and it came with this really cute, I guess it's a bookmark for your Pom Pom Mag, I'm not exactly sure. It says Simple Knit Tools and Tips it says I can't read. It says Knit How, and then it's got a ruler on it. And so I did actually measure something with it before. So thanks, Pom Pom Mag. But there's a lot of like really, really great things in this issue. This is one of my favorites. And it's this crochet kind of drapey cardigan. I just really love it. I think it's so different, and I don't crochet well enough to make it. So if anyone wants to, and I'm just kidding. Kinda. So, I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful issue. As usual, I'm never disappointed by Pom Pom Mag. This is the botanical issue, issue number 28. So if you guys don't have it yet, you know, run, don't walk, because it's a really, really great one for your library. Okay. I did go to Yarnia a while ago. I don't know if I showed this. I don't remember. So, you know, I wanted to show this to you because I usually go to Yarnia for needles. I'm someone who, it's a small store. It has so much for a small store though. Like, you can definitely get sweater quantities of stuff there. So if you live anywhere near Montclair, New Jersey, I highly recommend Yarnia. And the classes there are really great. They do a lot of knit-alongs. It's shopyarnia.com. But they have a wall of needles, and they really always have what I need. So if there are days where I'm just like, I'm not waiting for Amazon to send me something in like one set of knitting needles in like the huge box. So if you'd like to decrease your carbon footprint, go to Yarnia, grab your needles, and look at their wool. And I really, really loved this. It's called Sugarbush Chill, and it's 100% extra fine merino. And I just thought it was really, really cool. It's sugarbushyarns.com. It's humongous. Look at this. I just think it's so cool. And I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. I got 2 skeins of it. I've been actually playing with this, thinking that if I teach some knitting classes, this would be great to demonstrate on because, you know, when you first start knitting, I think that worsted or DK is the easiest to learn knitting on, but to show someone the stitch, something really chunky like this is beautiful, and I may just make myself something quite simple out of it because I just think it's beautiful. So that is from Sugarbush, and I don't know if the colorway is Chill. Oh, it's made in Italy. Hello. Designed in Canada, where we turn cold into cool. That's great. Yeah, I like Canada. It's a number 6, super bulky. It really is quite bulky. They say to use an 11 to a 17. I tried an 11 and it worked, but it was not great. So I'd probably do something on a 15, but I'm going to get some more of this and I think I'm going to make something really cool out of it because I love chunky yarns and the stitch definition that comes with it. There's like nothing like it. I love it. Oh, maybe a blanket. Ooh. Yeah, let me tell you, I don't make blankets because anytime there's a blanket in this house, somehow immediately it just becomes poopers. And I think like I have found him burrowed on the couch under like 4 or 5 blankets at once. The guy, he's crazy. The guy is crazy. All right, wait, let me try to. Is that any better? See, it's weird because my LCD panel right here just makes me look gray. And so, but then when I go to edit, I look fine. Okay, whatever. Anyway, Pom Pom Mag, back to you. Your packaging is so pretty. Do you see? Now we're going this way. So like it comes in the mail and then it comes in this beautiful little, I mean, it's just pretty. I really like Pom Pom Mag. Okay guys, let's go into whips. I don't have much. I really have only been working on my Akemi shawl by Isabel Kramer. And I did make some good headway on it considering that it's, I'm into the lace right now. So I finished the first lace section. Let's see. I think I need to put it on a longer cable, which maybe I'll do that tonight. First of all, let me just start out by talking about these needles. These are, I believe, Knit Picks rosewood needles. And I don't usually buy Knit Picks needles. I'm a knitter's pride. I like Chia Goo and my Haya Sharps usually when I'm doing lace with fingering weight. But something about this yarn, you know, my glazed pecan, which I just am loving. I like wooden needles. I'm not a huge fan of the Licca needles, so these are the rosewoods, and I really, really am liking them. And my uncle and aunt got me these for Christmas last year, and I believe the interchangeable set, which was, I think, had about 8 sets of needles, if not more, was only about $45 on Amazon. I mean, that's a good interchangeable set. Plus, I have no problem getting these on airplanes because they're wood. So, and I mean, I haven't broken them yet. I'm not really an aggressive knitter. Some people do break wooden needles, but I haven't. The joint on them, really good. It's really good. And I never snag. Can we get that to focus there? No? All right, well. I've never snag, and so I'm just singing their praises, guys. So this is the shawl. It's getting a little big, and I have it on the needle still down here, so I can't really pull it out as far as it is. But there's my first lace pass. So I finished like this, which was the garter section, and then I went into the lace, and I really, really like it. I think it came out really good. Can you see? And then there's another garter section, so I just finished that. And now I'm going back into the next lace section, which is this same harebell lace. But instead of doing 3 passes, I have to do 3 or 4. Is it 4? Did I do 4? No, 3. It calls for 10. And since it took me like a week to do each pass because, you know, I'm knitting, have to put it down, knitting, get someone juice, knitting, get someone a peanut butter sandwich, knitting, get someone this. I don't get it done very quickly. But she does say in the pattern, which is really smart of her, I believe, which I think she's a goddess, she says how to modify it. So she says if you don't want to do 10 passes or if you want to do more than 10, do it in multiples of 2. So instead of repeating rows 3 to 8 10 more times, I think I'm going to do it 6 more times because the shawl's getting pretty big to begin with. And I think once I pull it out, it'll be huge. But I don't want like a big wingspan kind of shawl. I just want a fingering weight shawl that well, maybe I do. I don't know. Will it look cute over my spell dresses in the summer? Totally. We'll see how fast I get it done. But I mean, I'm shooting for 6. Maybe I'll do 8. I don't know. Yeah, maybe 8 will look nice, because like 6 will be double what this is, and then that'll just be a little bit bigger. So maybe we'll do 8. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. Anyway, I just really like how she told you how to modify it. I think that was really smart of her, you know, because it takes out the guesswork. She told you this is how you do it if you want the numbers to check out. So again, this is the Akemi shawl, and it's by Isabel Kramer. And I know that on, I was actually selling these shawls at India Untangled when I worked for Lisa at the India Untangled booth. And so I believe on IndiaUntangled.com, she still has kits for this. If you like this light pink color, I'm trying to see what yarn it is. Kokon Fingering Weight Merino, 350 yards to 100 grams. So, I mean, that is fingering weight, but I feel like it's like right in between fingering and sport weight, right? So that's a little thicker. So that probably made it really, really big. I don't think my lace looks different than it does in this picture. Oh well, I do not care. Do I look like I care? Do I? No. So, anyway, that's the Akemi shawl if you guys are interested. I should have been alternating skeins the whole time, but I didn't, and I just don't care. I mean, I think if you're doing a sweater, it's different because sweaters lay flat on you, so you want to see, you don't want it to be like half one color and half another. But I mean, look how close they are. I bought them at the same time, you know? I mean, this one looks a little richer. I have other skeins of this. So I may swatch this and see if it looks how it looks with this. And if it's the same, then I'll go ahead. But if not, maybe I'll just try one of the other skeins. Because I bought 4 skeins. 3 of them matched and one was really like vibrant. It was really weird, right? So I should have taken note as to which one I pulled when I started knitting. But they look exactly the same. I think this one has more of a sheen to it. I don't know. Now this is gonna bother me. Crapple. Oh well. Guys, it's yarn. I'm not gonna cry over it. So there we go. And I'm really, really happy with the way it's coming out. So that's good. It takes me so long to decide on a pattern, then decide on the yarn it's going to go with. And sometimes I start things and I'm like, this yarn is just not doing this pattern justice, or vice versa. And I always feel like, you know, with indie dyers, it's like you can get the same colorway again, but sometimes it's just not the same hue. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I like to make sure I'm using my yarn for exactly like what I want it to look like. Does that make any sense? Do you guys know what I mean? I'm jealous of all you indie dyers out there that can just make yourself another skein of something. I was looking at Olan. You know, Jess Kavanaugh has been putting up all these new colorways that are going to be debuting at EYF. And I am so jealous. I'm so jealous. I think next year, 2020, I'm going to try my best to get to EYF again. I'm coming home with a duffel bag full of Olan. Yeah. Not even going to apologize. I'm just totally unapologetically going to walk through customs with a bazillion skeins of Olan. Anyway, sorry about that. That was just a brain loop, whatever. I was going to talk about my abandoned whip, which is my worsted boxy, but I don't want to. I'm just like ashamed of myself because I'm literally like, I've knit the whole body. I'm here. I literally just have to knit this. Like that's it. But for some reason, when I knit a Hoey Locatelli pattern and it's a sweater, you know how there's like right front, right back, left front, left back. Like I can't do it. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. And her patterns are flawlessly written, so it's me. It's not her. But yeah, I'm gonna need some help with that. Someone's gonna have to help me with that. You don't want to finish it? I'm just kidding. Maybe. I have an FO. Guys, it's a hat. Everyone has hats that are FOs. Okay, so Let's talk about the yarn though. And you know Christine King, do you guys know Mini Moebius on Instagram? She just finished the most beautiful sweater I think I've ever seen in this gorgeous green. But anyway, she says that it is not a finished object in her house unless the ends are woven in. And Christine, that is a wonderful sentiment. But to me, it's finished if it's off the needles. I have Franny wearing this brioche cowl bandana, the cowl thing that I made her to go to school in. And I fold it over. My mom calls her Mary Queen of Scots because it looks just like that neck piece that Mary wore. And there are ends hanging from it. And every morning when I dress her to go to school, I'm like, oh, I really have to do this. But she goes to a preschool where the director is a knitter. So every day I just think she must be judging me. Like, how could I send my daughter to school with a neck warmer that doesn't have the ends woven in? Like, I just feel like in my head she's judging me. I don't think she is because she's really, really nice. But anyway, nice people judge people too. They just do it silently. So this hat, I don't know what pattern I used. I think I kind of like did a little bit of this pattern, a little bit of that pattern. Basically just cast on a 2x2 rib, knit a lot of stockinette, and then just did decreases for the crown. It's so simple. And then I made this pom-pom, which is it's cut so badly. There are so many like blotches. It's flat on that side. But I really like this hat because it's for me. And I never make things for me, like hats and accessories. I very rarely make for me. So I also really love this yarn. This is Nice and Knit on their worsted, and it's called Concord. And I love this purple. Do you see that? That like it kind of pooled, but it didn't. And I really love it. I think it's beautiful. And you know, I'm not super into wearing hats just because I don't think I look nice in them, but I actually, you know, everyone needs a hat. This pom-pom is so bad, guys. It's like, is that round? That is not round. So I know that I'm just going to keep cutting it until there's nothing left. In the 60s, my Mima, who was an excellent seamstress, used to make my mom these gorgeous, gorgeous dresses. And you know how like in the 60s, they were like 3/4 sleeve or like shift dresses that had like, you know, they basically just covered your tush. So my mom always tells a story how they kept thinking that the hem was uneven, so they just kept cutting it and cutting it and cutting it, and finally it was a tunic. It just wasn't a dress anymore. And that's how I felt when I was cutting this pom-pom. I was like, I'm going to keep cutting this pom-pom until it is nothing but a nubbin. So I stopped myself, but as I'm looking at it now, I'm going to have to go back. I use the kitchen scissors because they're really sharp. Anyway, guys, FO! I'm really excited about that. I wanted to have 2 swatches done in the past couple weeks because I showed you that I am interviewing yarn for my portage as my Rhinebeck sweater. And I do want to start this probably in May. So like May, June, July, August, September, October. So that'll give me about 5.5, 6 months to do it. And like for me, I'm a slow knitter, right? I get distracted. I have a lot of other stuff going on. I'm going to give birth in the middle of that. So I'm giving myself a long time to do it. I'm also doing a cardigan because I feel like no matter what's going on with the belly situation at that point, I just can, you know, I can put on the cardigan, stick my hands in the pockets, and still look très chic. So I'm just really excited to start this. I'm still interviewing yarns. Did I bring it with me? Oh, no, I didn't. So I was interviewing Magpie Swanky DK. I really wanted to use that yarn. First of all, because I love the dyer, Damie Hunter. I love using her yarns. Second of all, I just think it's luscious. It's really luxe. It has cashmere in it. But it's 250 yards per 115 grams. And the pattern calls for 250 grams per, 250 yards per 100 grams. So let me say that again. Hers is 250 per 115 grams, and the pattern calls for 250 per 100 grams. So I felt like hers might just be a hair too light of a DK to use for this. I also want it to be a substantial knit. I don't want it to be floppy. I want it to have a little bit of shape to it. So I guess I could go down a needle size, but I always feel like that makes the whole sweater wonky. So I'm trying to find a yarn that is as close to the same numbers as the one that this was knit out of originally, which I think will just work better for me. So she used Valley Yarns Northfield, which is a DK 8 ply, 248 yards to 100 grams. So I'm going to have to look into it and find one. If you guys know of a DK that's a little bit heavier, kind of like a slash DK worsted, please let me know. I'd love to interview that yarn for my Rhinebeck sweater. But in other news, I did swatch with the Swanky DK, and I was like halfway through the swatch, which is like no big deal. I was doing it on straight needles. And my daughter, I literally just went to the bathroom for 30 seconds and she pulled the whole thing off the needles and I just found it like lying on the floor. I was like, oh. I was just so defeated. So, whatever. She doesn't know what she does wrong. I mean, I tell her I wasn't happy. She knew I wasn't happy. Anyway, next I wanted to swatch with this, which is the La Bien Ami Aran in colorway Rust, which I got at VKL. If you guys remember me almost drooling on it last week because I found myself a sweater quantity at Vogue and I was just like, pew. And I like to think that since I'm knitting with this incredibly orange yarn, that there's something else in play here. And a certain lady that loves orange is trying to brainwash us all. GG shark doo 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 doo, GG shark doo 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 doo. I told her she needs to come out with a pin that is an orange shark that's knitting and has her beautiful glasses on. I don't think she's going to listen to me, but who wants that? Raise your hand. Come on. GG Shark pins. Shelby, you do it. You sell them. They would totally sell. Anyway, I wanted to have the swatch done for this because I want to start the Felix Pullover as soon as my Akemi shawl is completed. I really just love this color. I think it's amazing. And so, yeah. Mama's making an orange sweater. And you don't mess with Mama. I don't know why I bought this shirt, but I'm having a lot of fun flashing people today. I wore it to the to my obstetrician and I was like I think he thinks I'm crazy, but I've been going to him for about 20 years, so I'm pretty sure he just knows I'm crazy at this point. On another note, I had my 5-month ultrasound and the baby would not turn over and just showed us her tush the entire time. The back of her head and her tush. So I actually have to go back because they couldn't take the measurements that they needed to take. That's my kid. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that yarn that I was just talking about was for the Felix Pullover by Savory Knits and Savory Knitting. And I found it on Rabbit, and it's just a cute cropped chunky sweater, and I'm excited to do it. It's got some stuff here. Check it out on Ravelry if you have a moment. I think it's going to be a quite quick knit, and I'm excited about that. So maybe I'll even do it right and like alternate skeins. Ooh. So I wanted to have those swatches done, and they did not get done because that is my life. But I did manage to purchase another pattern because, you know, I needed another pattern. My friend Meg, who is one of the 2 Megs that own Urban Society, which is where I take all my sewing classes in Westfield, New Jersey, she has decided to learn knitting. And she has a reason. They're going to start teaching knitting classes at the sewing store, which I think is such a wonderful idea. I hope, like, maybe once I get situated with the new baby and everything, I can teach a couple classes here and there. I think that would be a lot of fun. But she has wonderful knitting teachers coming in, and they're actually on March, I think it's March 22nd, they're doing a yarn tasting with Cloud9, and I think that's such a great idea, like a yarn tasting, right? To, like, induct the knitting into their environment. I think that's just such a great way to foster a community. And what I really love about the store is they do a lot of workshops and camps for kids. So more often than not, if you're at Urban Society in the summer or on a Saturday, the whole store is flooded with children because they want to learn these crafts. You know, we all went to dancing school and I did pottery when I was little and all these things, but I really wish I had thought to go learn knitting and to go learn sewing when I was that little. And so I really think they're doing just this excellent thing. If you have a child that I would say is probably over 8 years old, 7 or 8 years old, and would be interested in something like that, go to urbansociety.com and check out all their class schedule. Okay? So anyway, I've been answering her questions about knitting on Instagram. She writes me on Instagram and she's like, well, what do I do now? And I'm like, okay, well, let's pick a pattern. She just knit this like rectangle and it was really funny, but she taught herself how to knit and purl from YouTube. And so that's what we all do. And so I find it really admirable that she wants to jump into knitting a sweater. Now, it's a chunky sweater, so it should go fast and easy to see your mistakes. It's probably a great idea to start with this. I had the tremendous fortune of walking into my hotel room at some point, I think it was Saturday of VKL, and Christy Glass was interviewing Denise Bayron. I think that's how you say her name, Bayron. And she is from Bayron Handmade. You can find all her patterns, I believe, on Ravelry. And this just happened to be a pattern that Meg chose as her first knitting project. And so I think I'm either going to read along with her or I'm going to knit along with her. I have to see if I have the yarn for this because I think this is the cutest cardigan. It probably would go super fast. So Danny, stop talking and show it. So I always print my patterns out in black and white because I just don't feel like I need them in color. But I really wish I had printed this out in color so you guys could see how beautiful it is. I believe she made it out of this camel color. But how cute is that? It's just like a big wrap, a big chunky wrap. And it has 3/4 sleeves, which I'm sure you can make longer if you want to. But, you know, it's like a throw on and go kind of thing. And I love, love, love this pattern for so many reasons. I've showed you guys in my notebook that I make all these charts with little boxes and I check everything off. Well, Denise does it for you. So throughout the entire pattern are little boxes where you can check stuff off if you've done that. Come on. Denise, amazing. I think that is fantastic. She also, what I like is she puts tips within the section that you'd be knitting. So this one says, the body of this garment is worked flat and garter stitched with a slip stitch edge. Hold the yarn in front when slipping the last stitch of every row. So it's not like it's in a notes section somewhere else in the pattern. She puts it right there where you would need it. And I really love that. So, I mean, but even like, look at this. She's got I'm not going to show you the pattern. She's got all of the little boxes. So as you're going around, you like just check it off. It's brilliant. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, thank you. Anyway, so I think I'm going to figure out some yarn and maybe I'll knit along on this. I think it's, if you really try, it looks like a pattern you could finish in like a weekend. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it, but it's great. And so, Denise, bravo. I love it. I'm excited and I'm going to be helping Meg. So I never print out the front page of a pattern either. I'm trying to not increase my carbon footprint here, guys, but I mean, she used Rowan Big Wool. Okay. And she gives you an alternatively, Cascade Lana Grande. See, that's wonderful. I love it. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be doing with Meg. And maybe if I see her at the yarn tasting, I'll have to get a progress from her so you guys can see it. Okay, guys, I just turned off the camera. I moved it around. And I forgot to do the Brio Duo of the week. This one is brought to you by Stress Knits. Do you guys know Stacey Elstone? I love watching her podcast and I love watching her on Instagram. She has the most adorable little family, and so you guys have to follow her. But she's also a beautiful yarn dyer, and so I ordered 3 skeins of yarn from her a while ago. They are a Brio Duo, in my opinion. I'm very into gold right now, but I think with 3 of them, is this a Brio Trio? Yes, I'm losing my mind. Absolutely. I guess it's not a Brio Trio because 2 of the skeins match, but it is a Brio Duo. It is the Brio Duo of the week. Let me say, there you go. This one is called Triflers Need Not Apply, and this one is called Golden Hour. I'm very into the gold right now, man. It's like so Van Ray. What are you doing to me? Anyway, I think that this skein is so beautiful, and it has a little bit of gold right there, so I thought that they looked pretty together. But I don't know, guys. Part of me wants to make my Cipolla out of this. I know I have the magpie stuff for it, but I don't know. I kind of love it. But I don't know, gold, like a whole gold may not look great on me. It might like just drown me out. Though I do put on a lot of blush, so hey, possible. Again, guys, like just take a look at this. It's really, really pretty. I'm going to do like a rotation so you can see it. I believe it's Stress Knits. Let me see what website, if there is a website. There is not. But you can find her as Stress Knits on Instagram, and I believe, or I'm going to put in the down bar right here what is correct, because apparently I don't know it by heart. So sorry. I do follow along with her and her adorable family all the time, and so I just wanted to show you her beautiful yarn that she dyes herself. I believe she's doing clubs right now, and so you guys need to check her out and support. She's fantastic. I love her. Oh, I'm going to drop this. Anyway, Stress Knits, guys. Brio Duo of the week. You're welcome. And I totally forgot to find something for the 3,000 subscriber giveaway. So I just want to thank you all for subscribing and staying with me. 3,000 subscribers blows my mind. The amount of people that watched my last podcast is completely blowing my mind. I mean, for someone who really doesn't knit much or finish things, I hope you guys are having fun. But I will find something. I'm going to go probably down to Chelsea Yarns this weekend, and I'll grab something for a giveaway because I really want to show you guys how much I appreciate you stopping by. So that's your Brio Duo of the week, guys. Okay, back to you in the studio. So that's pretty much it. I have some personal things to go through that you guys, but that's the end of the knitting. I do want to just mention Brooklyn Boy Knits has teamed up with, I'm trying to remember, I know that it is Felicia from String Thing Studio and Becky from Clinton Hill Cashmere, and I know there's a couple other people. I'm so sorry I'm not remembering you at this time. But as I said, Brooklyn Boy Knits is starting his Hat Not Hate program. And I would like you guys all to look into this, and I would like us all to knit blue hats. And his purpose for it is that anyone that's wearing a blue hat in a school has made that commitment to stand up against bullying. And I think it's a fabulous, fabulous thing to do. It's almost like a take on the pussy hat in terms of like, when I have this on, this is what I believe and this is what I'm standing up for. And I think that that's great that young people can do that, just display how they feel and who they are, so that, you know, you don't spend time getting to know someone and then realize that they are not on the same page with you. You can just see by their accessories that this is how they feel and this is who they are and this is what they are going to stand up for. And so I want you guys to check out Brooklyn Boy Knits. I believe String Thing Studio and Clinton Hill Cashmere also have something on their Instagram, and I believe there were some more people. I think there were about 5 or 6 people in that are teaming up on this. And so I'm so sorry. I should have written everyone's names down. That was rude of me. But check into it. I believe he's collecting them for October and they're going to be distributed. So we have, I mean, guys, knitting a hat probably takes all of like 4 to 5 hours, you know, if you're going to do a nice chunky one. The Pearl Soho pattern for the Pearl Soho hats, it works with like any weight yarn. I made it with a chunky, and I think I made my husband that red hat twice in like 2 days. So there's no excuse. Everyone's knitting a blue hat. You got it? Good. All right, so look into that. He's at Brooklyn Boy Knits on Instagram. And I believe he started a handle for hat not hate, which is what it's called. And it's hat_not_hate. And so check out that handle and follow along so you can see what good this is doing for the world. In other news, I'm an auntie. No, not like an auntie like my friend had a kid and they're gonna love me. My sister had a kid. Guys, this is like monumental. And Franny was so sick the past couple of weeks. I couldn't even go to the hospital to see this kid. I am so beside myself because my sister, even though she was not some huge person that was like so into children, she has been so wonderful to my daughter. Came to the hospital, you know, in her lawyer outfit and her high heels and her fancy purse to see my kid. And I feel so bad that I could not go to the hospital to see her kid, but you know, when babies are new, they're not vaccinated yet, and I didn't want him to catch anything, and my daughter is a cesspool of germs right now. Like, a cesspool. So she was so sick. It was so sad. The kid knows how to blow her nose and just outright refused. And finally I was like, if you blow your nose, I will get you French fries. And she's like, okay. Psh. Like, I mean, French fries were the only thing that would make that kid blow her nose. So needless to say, I was not the best mommy the past 2 weeks because that kid ate her body weight in French fries. And yes, I am so sorry about that. I even at one day put the dog and her in the car and drove to Wendy's to get us French fries. I mean, whatever, right? We do what we have to do. We're imperfect. There's no manual for this. We do what we have to do. She's better now and she's still coughing. So he was born on February 21st. His name is James Maximus. And then their last name, which is not my place to share. But I just am so excited. He looks just like my brother-in-law. He's so cute. They have bought him such cute outfits to wear. Every day we see him on, you know, she sends us pictures and we FaceTime, and I'm just so excited to squish him and mush him, and that, you know, this baby coming in 4 months, we're going to have so much fun this Christmas with like a million babies running around. I don't think anyone is more excited about this Christmas than my father. He is like the best grandpa, and you know, he was a tough dad. He was tough. He did everything a wonderful father should have done for us. He provided. He was there for everything. But he was tough, you know. Sicilian dads are tough. You know, in their head, they think, you know, one false move and you're going to be like standing on the corner. And my sister and I are not like that at all. But like, he was just real tough. And you know, but hey, we turned out to be upstanding citizens. And so he did his job. But he is so excited about all of these kids, and it's adorable. And I think like he finally, you know, has really met his calling, found his calling in being a grandpa. So it's like really cute to watch. And my mom is like so happy, but like she has a cough now, so she couldn't go see the baby either. And it was so sad. All of us kind of stayed in our nuclear families for the past 3 weeks, and we're not like that. We are always together, the 6 of us. 7 with Franny, 8 with James. We're always together. Like Super Bowl Sunday, we just made a buffet, and like, you know, we just love being with each other. My family is a lot of fun. I'm very, very lucky. So I just feel so bad I haven't met him yet. But guys, I'm an aunt, and I'm so overjoyed about it because I didn't think my kid sister was gonna have a baby, and she did, and so it's just so much fun. I did want to correct myself. Last podcast, I said that my friend Emily was teaching classes for the that backpack that I showed you, which I do need to work on. And she's teaching them at Brooklyn General, not Brooklyn Craft Company. So please check out Brooklyn General. I believe it's just brooklyngeneral.com for class times. And she also teaches private lessons. She's an excellent sewist. So if you have a desire to learn either the backpack or garment sewing, please drop her a line. She's at Slow Fashion Rebel on Instagram. She also has a wonderful podcast, so check her out. And I just wanted to correct myself because I did say the place. I think she might have taught it at Brooklyn Craft Company last time, and maybe that's why I thought so. But And, you know, my husband and I had an apartment in Brooklyn when we first got married, and it was right by Brooklyn Craft Company, and I didn't go there. Like, what? What? I wish we could have kept that apartment. Oh, that would have been so nice. But alas, I got pregnant on our honeymoon on purpose. But I still did not really give us a chance to just be married and live in Brooklyn, and I kind of regret that, but I'm old. I'm turning 40 in July. So yeah, I wanted to have this baby before I turned 40. I had the whole calculation done, and then I get pregnant and they calculate it, and I'm gonna have her 2 weeks after I turn 40. I'm like, come on, universe! You couldn't have thrown me this one. You know. Anyway, I am fine with having a baby at this age. I know that a lot of women do it. It's no big deal anymore. It used to be, but you know, it's not like what you plan for, but I still think that waiting to meet my husband was the best thing I ever did because he's wonderful. And so if I have to have babies later in life, you know, so be it. I have a wonderful, wonderful father for them, and that is all that matters. Are you guys going to see KGK, which is what I call Christy Glassnets? Are you guys going to see her interview Andrea Mowry March 30th at Murmur in Brooklyn? If not, please go to ticketfly.com, get your tickets, make a weekend of it. Brooklyn is amazing. There are amazing knitting stores there. If you live in Philly, come up from Philly. If you live in Chicago, fly in, do it. It's going to be so much fun. I just want to push that because my friend Lisa, who organizes, she is India Untangled. She really puts everything into organizing these events, and they are spectacular. So if you're not already, you know, armed with a ticket for that, grab a ticket, get your plane ticket, train ticket, whatever you need, and get to Brooklyn. We're going to have a ball. Okay? And on that note, I wanted to just mention that I have reopened my Etsy store. It's gemmadarling.etsy.com. I originally started my business, Gemma Darling Designs, designing jewelry, and I just love beads. If you guys think I have a lot of yarn, you should see my beads. I can't even reach them right now. I will show you next podcast, or maybe I'll do a vlog. I have so many beads, it's disgusting. But I always liked stones and geology from a very young age, and so I think that that was just a normal progression, because when you buy beads, a lot of them are these gorgeous semi-precious stones, and so I try to use the best findings that I can. It's all gold plate. I don't feel like I am a good enough jewelry maker to use pure gold, but gold plating is wonderful. I've been using some of my necklaces for about 5 years now, and they still look great. You can't really swim in them. You can't like wear them in the shower like you could a precious metal, but if you really do take care of them, they'll last a long time. I mean, sometimes the gold will rub off and it'll just look a little dull, but the beads are really front and center. And so I try to design things where the beads are really the main focus. I have some gorgeous amethysts. I have really, really amazing set of beads over here. And so I was just thinking the other day, I'm like, I need to make more jewelry. So guys, right now there's some things I made like maybe a year or two ago that I just want to, I'm trying to clear out. They're beautiful designs, but I'm trying to design like a spring line. I want it to be more like, you know, 6 necklaces, 4 pairs of earrings, and this and that, and I'll do in different colors so that I can buy stuff more in bulk and then pass on the savings to you. But right now they're in my Etsy store, and there is a discount code on Instagram. I believe it's Darling15, and you get 15% off a purchase of $25 or more, and that expires on March 8th. So head on over there. There's only about 8 or like 12. I'm going to put up a couple more things, so there should be about 12 listings. It's not a lot, but if you see something, grab it, and you know, I hope you enjoy it. So Etsy store is open. I binge watched The Umbrella Academy with Ellen Page. It was really great. It was kind of like X-Men meets Harry Potter. You know, these children were all born on the same day, and the weird thing was that I think they say at the beginning that there were 42 children born on the same day, and they had the same thing, that at the beginning of the day, their mothers were not pregnant. So it's the coolest thing. Like, you just watched in the first episode, this girl jumps into a pool, and all of a sudden she's pregnant and her water breaks and she gives birth, and everyone's just like, what? And so, you know, things like that are kind of like, ooh, that's weird. But then this old man tries to collect and adopt as many of these children as he can. He adopts 7 of them, and he trains them to really hone their abilities so that they can, like, save the world, I guess, you know? And so, I thought it was great. I'm trying to think. It was like 8 or 10 episodes. I think it was 10 or 12. I don't know. Anyway, it's on Netflix. I thought it was really great, and so I highly recommend it. Give it a binge watch. I'm pretty sure it was picked up for next season. Ellen Page never disappoints in, like, anything she's in. I mean, Juno was hysterical. I didn't particularly like that movie, Inception, but I don't think that was her fault. She was great. So, I don't like when movies are so confusing that they just blow your mind. It just didn't make any sense. But staring at Leonardo DiCaprio for 3 hours was not really that bad, so I suffered. Anyway, guys, I'm looking at everything, and I think I got through everything, and I hope your tea is still hot, or you have been able to knit with me. And I want all of your comments because I love reading them, and I hope you guys have a wonderful 2 weeks until I see you again. I have some vlogs that'll be going up. I'm going to try to make it to Chelsea Yarns this weekend for the Asylum Fibers trunk show. I have things that are planned, but it always depends how I wake up feeling. We're in 2nd trimester, so I'm feeling pretty good, but, you know, that can change really quickly when you're pregnant, so I'm trying my best. Anyway, guys, thank you for all the kind words on the last podcast and on all of my Instagram posts, and I just really enjoy being a part of this knitting community, so thanks again for stopping by, and I will talk to you again in 2 weeks. Happy knitting, everyone. Bye.